Behind the Counter is sponsored by
Audible.com, the internet's leading provider of audiobooks, with more than 100,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature. And by Stitcher Radio. Listen on the go via the Stitcher mobile app. For more information, go to stitcher.com/GFQ.
Hello. Hello and welcome. Music. The music, Andrew. All right. Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Behind the Counter. I'm Rich Stambolian, and that is the man that only Gangrel fears, Jonathan Adler. I said the only thing that Gangrel fears. I screwed that up completely.
I think a pink slip is going to be the worst thing he fears. What do you mean? Okay, job.
Oh. For those just joining us, we're here. We're talking about comics. The show just started. We know you've been waiting for this all week. This is our last show until after the new year. GFQ Network is taking a break off. They're going on vacation. I hear Bermuda is very nice this time of year.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
He's not doing any shows next week.
What?
Yeah. No Hot Talk. No comic book show.
Oh, we supposed to premiere Hot Talk this week.
No What the Tech. No turkey-based show called What the Turk.
What the Turk? What the Turk?
No previews of the Jack Reacher sequel, The Reach Around. That's my joke today.
I like it.
It's spelled Reacher, and then round is the next word.
Reach round.
Yeah, Reach Around.
Reach round.
So what's up?
You see that movie?
Nah, yeah.
See what he does to that car?
You know what? No.
Is that car kung fu?
No, I didn't see it.
Cool stuff.
You know what? I'm gonna watch it because I remember the last awesome cruise movie that I saw was the one with Jamie Foxx.
That was good. I'm not one of the biggest fans of that show. That movie.
Yeah, that show sucks.
It's too long. Too long for a TV show.
But I thought it was gonna be garbage, and I ended up liking the movie. You know,
I liked the last Mission Impossible.
I didn't see it.
It's good.
I didn't see the one before that.
That one's good too.
Because that one's 3 and this one's 4.
This is 4. This is where they don't even have a number anymore. Now it's just Ghost Protocol.
What's the next one?
Omega Delight.
Terrible.
Mission Impossible. Omega Delight.
Mission Possible.
Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And speaking of Jamie Foxx, he is going to be Electro in the new Spider-Man movie.
I don't like it.
Really?
You know what? I never get excited about Jamie Foxx being signed on to anything.
Okay.
But he does a good job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when I hear that initial thing, like when I heard like, oh wow, like Django Unchained, Leonardo DiCaprio, Christopher Waltz, Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx. Really? The 2 X's?
He's probably going to be good in it.
He's going to be really good in it.
And you know what? As Electro, like he gave it away because they didn't tell him to keep your mouth shut. He was just like, oh yeah, I'm a guy who just loves Spider-Man because nobody likes me. And I become an electrified guy. That's it.
And we're all black.
See, but that's the thing, man. Like, no offense to our black fans or anything, but if you make a black guy with electric powers, I feel like the similarities to Black Lightning are a little evident. You know?
They don't know who the average regular viewer of a Spider-Man movie is not going to know who Black Lightning is. But
a black scientist who gets electricity powers, I feel like DC would have something to say about that.
Yeah. Or static.
Yeah, or static.
There's a lot of black electricity powers.
Yeah, it's a cool power.
I hate electricity powers.
I like. I think that's why they gave it to the black dudes because they're so cool. They gave them like the coolest power. Yeah, it's just a cool power to have.
I don't know. I think it's just like I'm a bigger fan of fire and ice powers opposed to lightning powers.
Yeah, I always liked the electricity powers, man. I always thought it was just cool. Zap.
No,
zap somebody.
But I like Electro. I really think Electro's awesome. It's a kind of a shame that we're not going to see anything even close to the regular.
No, you're not going to get the spiky helmet.
Or at least like do something with that crazy, do a crazy mask.
Yeah.
Give him a dragon head.
You know what? Like, all right. I would think that they would do something kind of like they did with Captain America, where they had him in like the traditional like crappy blue costume for like
at one point,
and they wrote it into the movie as something like kind of cool, where he's like on a Broadway production basically of Captain America, and he's wearing like your cheesy spandex costume
in a sock.
I think they would do that with Electro, and he's just like, nah, this sucks.
And he burns it off, and he makes his own costume.
Yeah, that's it. That's the. Are you doing the Gangrel or the Triple H?
Gangrel.
Is that an empanada? This guy's always eating during our show. Right?
I know.
So distracting.
It's awful.
Quesadilla. I watched the show from 2 weeks ago today, and these guys just like you hear us talking, and then you hear the quesadilla.
These are good mics.
It's quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
So, and you're that's the news for this week. There's not really. They signed a new girl is doing the Vertigo stuff. A new lady.
They got that, and she's answering to the co-creator of Youngblood.
Dan Fraga?
No. Dan Fraga didn't create anything.
I don't know.
He just took abuse.
I don't know anymore.
I had his name, but I was right with Perry because I came on your wrestling show.
Sorry, dude.
I don't know, some dude.
So yeah, I mean, and the other part of the news this week is John watching Sopranos.
Yeah, it was really good.
three seasons of Sopranos in one day.
I was at the library a lot. I was studying a lot. I watched a lot of Sopranos in the background.
Just get him. No more gabagool. Where's my gabagool?
The gabagool makes me faint.
You know what I want? You know what I want?
Millions of dollars of psychiatry. The gabagool makes me faint.
you know what I want?
Out of my father.
Out of Sopranos right now?
What?
I want a Gandolfini eating gabagool with Frank from Always Sunny eating gabagool.
Frank from Sunny eating anything is amazing.
Yeah.
These pickles.
I told you how to fold.
I taught you how to fold. You don't tell me how I fold a sandwich. I know how to fold.
Good. I haven't seen any of the season of Always Sunny.
So good.
Is it?
It's not. I still think Fat Mac could be one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah, Fat Mac was an excellent season.
Fat Mac. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Oh. Yeah.
He got real fat.
Disgusting.
Did they call him Big Mac on the show? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember watching last season.
They call him Big Mac.
I love last season.
Yeah.
I thought it was phenomenal. The high school reunion was great.
Yeah. There's a lot of good Frank and D stuff in this season.
Oh yeah.
They're
in this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brothers are big fans of
Always
Sunny. They love it. They think it's the greatest thing in the world, and they've never seen anything else Danny DeVito has ever done.
That's it?
That's it. They think he's just the guy from It's Always Sunny. They don't think
Taxi.
it's Danny DeVito in the show.
They should really see other people's money.
Oh yeah.
They should watch Twins.
I don't know why it's
Taxi.
the first one that came to mind, but
Twins.
Taxi, Twins. The little kid.
What do they call it? What's the one with Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Yeah.
Yes. Where he tries to kill his wife and the wife tries to kill him. They kidnap the people.
That's not Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
No, what's the Ruthless People?
Ruthless People.
Yeah.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was Michael Caine
Which is
and
an awesome
Steve
movie.
Martin. Yeah, phenomenal movie. I love that movie.
That was a good movie. Moon over Parador. Do this all night.
Yeah, we could. We could just watch like old 80s movies. Literally the old 80s. Why don't you have a show about old 80s movies?
Who wants to do it?
Like Doc Hollywood. Talk about Doc Hollywood.
I'll talk about Doc Hollywood.
Talk about Dr.
I
Detroit.
saw that in the theater.
Dan Aykroyd. Did you really?
Yeah.
Weren't you
I saw Hudson Hawk in the theater.
I did not. I saw it on VHS. And I had, you know what? When I saw
waste
that
of
movie,
time.
no problem with it.
Oh, I had a major problem with it.
You were like 9.
Yeah. I knew inherently it was bad. But I did also see Master of the Universe in the theater too.
I thought it was awesome.
No.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed.
Skeletor was awful.
No, he was
Skeletor was
great.
He
so
looked great
bad.
there. He looked incredible. in
That's
that
the
movie.
best thing about the movie. The worst thing about the movie is you have, these great toys to play with of like the He-Man universe. It was the first thing to do, bring them to our world.
Oh yeah. That was the whole thing.
And have them like fight in a Kentucky Fried Chicken for half the movie.
Yeah,
So
in like
bad.
a mall, like a strip mall.
And they took
How did
away
they kill
Orko.
Skeletor? He fell in a hole, right?
He falls into a hole,
Yeah.
and then he invented the after the credits thing where he puts his hand down. I'll be back.
And he never did come back.
No, nobody wants to see that movie.
Was that Master of the Universe or was that Flash Gordon?
No, it was this.
Masters of the Universe.
Flash
was
Gordon
another
had the
awful-
question mark.
Yes.
It's like the end question mark. Like
What?
yeah, no, that's it.
As a kid, I was so disappointed by that because I thought it was Flash and not Flash Gordon.
I did
I'm
that a
like,
few
why
times.
isn't he in his red suit and running around?
He's so beefy?
That's the same guy. Did you see Ted? I saw Ted
Yep.
over the weekend.
Yeah,
It's just a weird thing. My review of Ted.
I really liked it. I think the Flash Gordon stuff put it over the top for me.
It did. It was awesome. My problem with the movie is that it's kind of made for our age group.
Yeah,
And it's like I got all the references,
Yo, it's a
great.
weird movie. When you think
It
about it, it's a really weird movie.
It's an amazing concept where it's like the
you
Christmas
see
Switch
Ted?
in the future.
Yeah,
No.
it's good.
It's about a teddy bear.
Not well. The concept of the movie is that this kid, it was like a kid who wished for a best friend when he was like 6 years old during Christmas.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're going to be best friends forever. And now it's like 30 years later.
And he's stuck with the bear.
The bear is with him. And the bear is like
do other people see the bear too?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a full functioning bear.
They were celebrities at one point.
Nobody in the world questions that a bear is talking.
No, he was like a child star, basically.
Because of the bear.
Because, no, the bear was the star. And then he faded into obscurity. So now people are like, oh, hey, you're the guy with the bear. And they'll take pictures of him on the street, you know?
The government didn't like think twice about like studying how a bear came to life.
Christmas miracle.
That's what they attributed it to.
It's a Christmas miracle.
So does the bear die at the end?
Watch the movie, man.
Yeah.
Did it kill him?
Watch the movie.
No, I want to know.
No,
I want a spoiler.
No spoilers.
There
Why?
might be people watching that. haven't seen the
Nobody
movie
here
yet.
wants to see the movie.
I guarantee you, our entire demographic wants to see Ted.
Yeah.
or is just waiting to see Ted. The fancy about a teddy bear coming to life. It's exactly what we talk about every week.
Who's voiced by Peter Griffin?
Yeah.
That's the other thing, too. They should have put that in the credits where it's like voice of Ted Peter Griffin. Not Seth MacFarlane, voice of Ted Peter Griffin. No
It is
difference.
exactly Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Well, I like the part they actually said, like, it's like, I don't sound anything like Peter Griffin.
I don't sound like Peter Griffin. And he does. That's exactly like Peter Griffin.
It's a good movie. You're upset. You're upset that we won't tell you if he dies or not. Maybe he dies.
You know what? Dexter dies at the end of the season.
I hope so.
No, he does. I think he does.
No.
I read a spoiler about that. That other
awful.
thing. Yeah.
What an awful show.
Ted is all right. And also, my other problem with the movie is that in the movie they tell you that Marky Mark's 35 years old, but that guy's not 35 years old, man.
Oh my god.
It's like 42.
Speaking of which, I saw the most ridiculous trailer today. Michael Bay's new movie, Marky Mark,
The Rock.
Yep. And who's the other dude in the movie?
Patton Oswalt.
So it's called Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. There's muscle jokes. They touch each other.
I haven't seen it.
Mark it on your calendar. on your phone.
Pain
you
and Gain.
need to watch Pain and Gain.
Okay,
We're endorsing this.
I got a fan fiction story if you guys want to hear it.
I would love to hear a fan fiction.
So yesterday, I posted What the Tech on my website, and this guy wrote that it was the worst episode ever. I didn't let anybody. I kept going off on tangents. I wouldn't stick to the topic, and he didn't learn anything this week.
Did you say this on the air, or was the mics off?
The mics were off.
Okay.
And I kept I wrote this asshole answer like, "Wah, I didn't learn anything from the podcast this week," and the guy lost his mind. Like he goes, "Fuck you, Andrew. If you don't want comments, then don't ask for them." And I go, "Wah." Andrew didn't like my comment, and like everybody on Twitter kept writing, "Wah." Andrew didn't like my comment over and over again. So the guy committed suicide at this point.
That's awful.
Wow, I mean,
I googled his name, and the guy writes Star Trek fan fiction, and he writes about the sexual relationships between the women on Star Trek.
why doesn't he watch our show?
And I'm thinking, and he writes about trains. He loves trains.
Buddy,
He writes about, wait.
I'm like, this guy is my demo.
buddy, if you don't, if you're out there and you're watching, just
Come
give
to
us
the bask and glow of
give us
Fine
the high
Countdown.
sign.
He
Like,
writes
we're not gonna
Star
hate on
Trek
you.
fan fiction, really bad ones
Come
too,
on our show.
like with ants coming out of
Do you have like an art? Do you have like a nemesis now?
I
Is this
do.
guy like your nemesis?
I do.
Are you gonna make it your job to just like,
Crucify him.
you
Yeah.
know?
No, I'm fine. I'm done.
Yeah.
But I found it really funny that he writes really bad fan fiction,
Well, there's no one
and he
writing.
loves trains.
There's no one writing very good fan
Yeah.
fiction.
we had
I thought you were about to say that he was writing fan fiction about What the Tech.
No, that'd be great.
and then
Me and
Andrew
Paul in a
takes his
relationship.
shirt off,
And then Andrew told John to stop talking to the mic directly.
and then Andrew said, talking to it lower,
He's like, "Can you hear me?"
and then,
And then they tested the mics.
And then hands came out of the mics.
and then he started talking like this.
And then Kitty Pryde
And then I started
showed
talking
up.
like this.
I just put that Billy Joel song into my head. The height of the love.
Okay.
Andrew, don't make a nemesis out of some random dude on the internet.
It's all right.
If you're watching,
It's a
what's his-
comment. We've talked about the comment section.
Oh, they go crazy. People went crazy. But what was funny is that like he really tore me apart, and that's fine. Like I'm okay with that. But like for the first time, I responded back. Like I wrote back. I was like, "Wah, I didn't learn anything," because it was such a ridiculous concept.
I'm gonna proofread the crap out of his comment. So
He's like,
hard.
you wrote your instead of your.
Of course he did. No one else writes your.
Yeah.
No one knows how to write
No one
your
knows.
in the entire history of internet.
Did he put you are?
You are. Yeah.
I hope if this gentleman
You are?
watches our show, I want his comment to be you are the letters U and the letter R, and then the letter G, and the letter R, and the number 8. That's it. That's all.
You agree.
That's all I want. I want to be told.
On episode 145 of What the Tech, I didn't learn anything.
We don't teach anything on this show. I wish somebody was like, I didn't learn anything about Stan Lee on this episode. I didn't learn how he showed up and did X-Men stuff with Jack Kirby
Years ago.
I didn't learn about how this October 14th was proclaimed Spider-Man Day.
You were
in New York City.
Is it?
It was. I got choked up when I read that in the comic, by the way.
What?
That October 14th, 2012 was pronounced Spider-Man Day in New York City.
No.
Yeah.
Where did you read this?
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. Spider-Man 700. Poor Dan DiDio. We might as well just kick into the show now. Yeah. It's been a half an hour.
Just got our feet wet.
Poor Dan DiDio got death threats because of the reveal in Spider-Man 700, which was leaked.
Dan Slott.
Dan DiDio just gets death threats left and right. But he's not even making any reveals.
No.
But Dan Slott, he was getting, like, poor guy was getting death threats for the reveal in Spider-Man 700, which we'll get to and spoil for you. Because, come on,
this
you
happens.
saw it coming,
Yeah.
like it happens. So, we both got our hands on issue from Parts Unknown. We both got
Literally.
literally from
I
Parts
don't know how
Unknown.
they got to us.
We ended up waking up on Wednesday morning with copies of
Christmas Miracle.
Yeah, like that was our Christmas miracle, Kwanzaa miracle, Hanukkah miracle, whatever, solstice miracle.
Kwanzaa. Ramadan.
That is it Ramadan?
No.
We got our hands on copies of Spider-Man 700. Now I got a copy of the actual, like with the advertisements and everything. After the main story, it's the proclamation from Mayor Bloomberg that says, because Spidey exemplifies all the traits that make New York great, and it goes into like he's a kid from Queens, he studied hard to get where he is, he's a photographer.
Bloomberg's from Queens?
No, like he's talking about Spidey.
Oh, okay.
He's a photographer, he's a teacher, he's a student, he exemplifies like athleticism and humor and like treating your guys right. I got really choked up, and the whole thing was like October 14th, 2012 is proclaimed Spider-Man Day.
Every year?
I hope it's every year. No, I'm sorry, October 14th, because October 14th is Peter Parker's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm getting my mind blown right now.
So, that's what we do, man. And
We gotta get our faces painted that day.
I think so. So October 14th, I guess from now on is Spider-Man Day. I read the whole thing, and it's just like this Miro proclamation, and I was like, you get him.
Did he follow it by reading it again in Spanish?
It's in the if you
Rich.
can find
Do it in
it
Spanish.
before the I can't. It's too many words.
Say Ultimate Spider-Man in Spanish.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimo Spider-Man. That's it. That's how you say it.
Isn't it Rania Hombre?
Yeah, it's not Aranya Hombre.
No?
It's a Spider-Man. You just put an E in front of it.
He's Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man.
Spiderman.
That's how the that's how the
Israelis?
Jews say it.
Yeah, Spiderman. He's a dentist.
So in like issue 700, you have that great reveal, and you have like a couple of interesting backup stories, which are kind of, it was like very cool stuff. But this dude was getting, I can't believe this guy got death threats from like Twitter followers. And then, I'm drawing a complete blank because I'm not the fanboy I used to be, I guess. But, what's his name? I don't want to say
Jerry
what's
Conway?
his name. Yeah. Who did?
He said he came forward and said in response to Dan Slott getting the death threats that thank God that there was no Twitter around when we threw Gwen Stacy off the bridge.
Yeah.
Which is a huge. I'm like, listen. I love this storyline. All right, I love it. I think it's really gonna be a lot of fun.
Me too.
Relax, take it
Chill out,
easy.
yeah.
Like, when was the last time you saw a major development of character that actually stuck, especially a major thing like this?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's ridiculous. I mean, like, I think about, like, this is the thing that kind of, like, it pisses me off about fandom is that, and Jerry Conway brought up an amazing point where back then, these are pioneering stories. So, Gwen Stacy dying, people were like, this is amazing. No. This is like, they're not complaining. This is like a soap opera, It's like, I want to see what comes next. This is 50 years later, give or take, maybe 40 after she died or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know that the status quo never stays the same in comic books. You
Never.
know? It always goes back to its roots. That's the beautiful thing about comics is that, Brand New Day exemplified that. Spidey went back to his roots after getting crazy powers and revealing his identity and like making a deal with Mephisto. It became Yeah, they fixed it in one issue. It became an awesome Spidey comic. With this whole ending, it's not gonna last forever, but it's awesome, and I love the way that. Should we do the spoiler?
Yeah.
We'll do a little spoiler alert. If you haven't read Spidey 600 or
700.
don't know what 700 or don't know what happens, I'm full of foibles tonight.
Go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom, earmuffs,
Get a sandwich.
Blast extreme death metal
Please.
into your head for about like 3 minutes.
It makes him stronger.
Listen to yeah, exactly. Listen to Dark Throne or something, and well, here it comes. At the end of Spider-Man 700, Amazing Spider-Man 700, as we know, Peter Parker is now in the body of a dying Dr. Octopus.
He looks awful.
And Dr. Octopus is in the body of a vibrant, in his prime, healthy Spider-Man.
Yes.
All his memories, all his feelings are in that body. The end of the issue is Peter Parker, Dr. Octopus dying and saying, "You have to be the best Spider-Man that you could be." And then he dies. And now it's like, but this is the kicker for me. It's not so much that he died, but Octopus in Peter Parker's body saying like, "My God, I never knew the power and responsibility. Not only will I be a great Spider-Man, I will be the best Spider-Man. I will be the superior Spider-Man."
I love it. And I love the fact that they went back through like the old Peter Parker memories, like Uncle Ben dying, and like they had like the Spider-Man with like the fat, chubby, like Otto Octavius head.
Yep.
On each of them. Is awesome. Listen, this is such a great idea just for the dialogue alone.
Yeah.
Like, did you read Daredevil?
Absolutely.
All right, so Daredevil in the very end is pretty much the first appearance chronologically of Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So at the very end, the DA tells someone in the darkness that you have to go take care of Daredevil.
You got to bring down Matt Murdock.
You got to help him. Essentially help him by beating him up or whatever. And you see it's Spider-Man, and he's like, "Oh, no problem. I'll take care of Daredevil. I will crush him."
Yeah, and she's like, "What?
What's going on?" So like gone is the times of like the wisecracking Spider-Man, and now it's a weird, chubby German kid,
Super nerd
Spider-Man who wears like turtlenecks.
Yep.
He's back to being a nerd.
It's Chess Club Spidey, like a really hard nerd, Magic the Gathering on a Saturday afternoon Spidey, and like I just love that dialogue. It's so ridiculous. I was trying to show it to the lady last night, and she was like, I don't care. And I'm like, but you don't understand. He's a total jerk. And like the scene with Mary Jane where she's like trying to bone him, and he's like, What's the matter? This doesn't do it for you anymore, woman. You're just a set. He just like he totally kills his own boner and like walks away. Really awesome stuff. I would not send Dan Slott a death threat. I would send that guy the opposite of a death threat.
High fives.
High fives, thank you cards, Christmas presents all year round. Because this is, I'm on for the ride. Like you're on for the ride.
It's gonna be great.
It's awesome stuff. And you know what? They already killed the Spider-Man and they replaced him with like a little like Spanish black kid, and people went crazy because of that, man. Like I get it.
It's a big overreaction. It's a story beat. It's strictly a story beat. What do you think they're gonna do? How's he gonna come back? It's written already in it. He's more than likely Peter Parker's consciousness is already in his regular body.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of him like reclaiming it and making a new chubby body for that'd be great if he starts getting fat.
Oh, so good. So good.
Well, that weird backup story. Like what was up with that? Like the one with like the guy who says like I'm Spider-Man to the kid.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be like in like the future.
Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be like the future. Like he has a different name.
Different Avengers cast. There's like a Corporal America.
There was Corporal America. There was a Thing Hulk.
Yeah.
It was a really weird, awesome storyline.
I liked it.
But it seemed like it was almost like an Otto's, personality as he matured over and got rid of the German accent.
Well, it could have also been the fact that like I think that story was like a standoff saying like anybody could be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Kind of like tying into like the weird Batman subculture thing.
Yeah.
Like anybody could be Spider-Man. It'd be cool. And they already did that with Miles Morales.
I can't be Spider-Man.
Why not?
We can't be Spider-Man.
How come?
I got bad knee.
Yeah. But if you would have, that would go away.
If that
He's the healthiest dude on earth.
Spider-Man is the power set that I want. That's like my favorite thing.
I think so. And like the little tidbits they threw in there, like when the Scorpion attacks and then like he just takes his jaw clean off.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Ox Spidey is like, he was holding back the whole time.
I'm so strong.
And then like also the part where he makes like the airbag out of the webs and like actual like Parker Ock is like, I never thought of that.
I never thought of that. Yeah, you did.
Really interesting, really interesting dynamic, and like you fans should be ashamed of yourselves for like pooping on this guy.
But I think also it's also feeding into like a troll mentality of, of course I'm going to do a death threat to this guy. I'm a dick.
You think it's just like
what I do? I don't. Can you really see someone like? Actually, I can. I take that back.
Yeah,
I take that back. I did work at a comic book store. I did see the that weird venom that comes out of people's mouths. I can't handle this.
It's going.
Here, I have the right hair.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It's.
I want the herb trimp hair.
It's the weirdest thing, and like it just reminded me of like this conversation I had with a friend of mine about gun control, and it's like not the same thing, but it's just people go so crazy for no reason. And he was like, listen, I know about 10 guys who have guns, and none of them should have guns. Like, these guys are not responsible dudes. Like, every guy I know who has a gun should not have one.
Yeah.
They're all psychopaths, you know? Yeah. It's the same thing. Like, I feel like fervent fans should not have the internet.
Well, it's kind of like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Is that the way it goes? Yeah, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Yes. No?
Is that it?
Andrew, back me up.
He doesn't know. Yeah, the squeaky
Spencer, back me up.
I think it's a squeaky hinge.
Whatever, dude. Anyway,
sorry,
but the people. It's not the people who really have something good to say that take the time to actually type out a 2-line review of a comic or a comment in a video or something like that. It's usually like the guy who has really got a hard on, just like I'm going to tell this. I don't like this.
Yeah,
I don't like this.
I would love.
I agree what you're saying.
Listen, comic book internet, I would love it if tomorrow you turn around and then like let's say you read what was good this week, Saga, you know, and then somebody wrote Brian K. Vaughan a letter saying like, listen, man, like it's really inspirational. I love the way you tell stories. I love the art. I love Fiona Staples.
I don't like this.
And then the positive stuff gets read, and the negative stuff you never hear about. Yeah, that would be nice if the comic book fandom just turn around like that and it was like super nice all of a sudden, but that'll never be the case. I feel like a website like Comics Alliance where you get like very extremely intelligent answers and comments. It's only a matter of time before that devolves into like the Newsarama comments.
Oh God,
like, comic resources or whatever.
The thing I kind of learned from the comment sections are most. A lot of those guys that do comment really feel the internet is there strictly for you to voice your opinion,
to bitch,
to tell someone that they're wrong, to combat the information that they're putting out there. So, but it doesn't come across as you being a smart person or you being interesting. It comes across as you being adversarial.
Yeah,
like it comes across as being like someone who's just there to kind of like poke the bear.
Right.
Like why? Like why would you bother?
But I feel like like we disagree on comics sometimes. We disagree with like Bobby. Sometimes our friend Bobby sometimes on comic book. But it's never like what.
Thank you. Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, I think that's the that's the way it should be done. Where like I would love to have like a weekly or bi-weekly comic book. Like we're actually like current readers turn around and say like like I think you're wrong. I don't like Amazing Spider-Man 700 because of this reason. And like what, I appreciate the fact that you don't like it, but like I like it because of this. And then like it's a cordial discussion as opposed to like if you don't like this book, then you die every day in my brain, in your
face.
Yeah, like I want to.
Well, let me ask you, why do you think it's like that? Do you think it's like that with everything, or do you think it's like
at this point? Yeah, I think it's with everything. I think
it's with everything.
I think people have become 1,000 times more obsessive, 1,000 times more vocal because they're behind a computer.
More critical,
much more critical. Everything sucks.
Yeah,
everything sucks. Like this sucks. This is the stuff I like. I'm not gonna talk about the stuff I like.
Cynicism. I think like the apocalypse tomorrow that's supposed to happen.
It's a mental one.
It's a mental one, and it's a cynical one. Yes. The cynical internet apocalypse of 2012 will happen tomorrow.
It's gonna be a big meh.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So ready.
All the people that were like going on shows and like on a History Channel, all these experts that claimed that it was going to happen. Where are they?
Because they're in bunkers already.
Do you think they were in bunkers?
Absolutely.
Like, why isn't CNN interviewing these people?
There's a dude who built like a huge complex, like a huge underground complex. Every room in the place is rented out to rich people.
Time to party.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No.
Right now.
Yes.
And what are they going to do on Saturday morning?
Watch cartoons, man.
Go for brunch. Go for brunch and wipe themselves down with $100 bills. There was a girl in a class the other day. She was they were talking about the end of the world, and she's like, oh my God, you know, it's probably gonna happen like 7:30, and I have to wake up at like 6:30. And I don't know what's gonna happen because I gotta go see the tree on Saturday.
Like the Christmas tree.
It was like a serious discussion. Like she was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta go see the tree.
That's the most. You should have been like, baby, I'm glad that's the most important thing in your life.
I had to stop myself from like, you know, putting it on the internet, like overheard in conversation. But it's kind of like one of those moments where my brain kind of snapped in half.
Yeah.
Like really, that's the first. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Can't see the tree.
If I can't see the tree, I'm gonna be upset.
I was gonna put shoes on Saturday.
Yeah. I
also like the fact that she thinks it's gonna happen 7:30.
Yeah.
And that she's waking up at 6:30, so that like hour of like you like taking a dump.
Doesn't it happen 21?
Huh?
What's her name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's a voice of the crowd.
Isn't it supposed to happen like 21?
Yeah.
But it's already the 21st in like Australia, man.
Yeah, as of today, it is.
No, but the mines are talking about like their time.
You mean
Are we
like
on the mine?
Like
you
Central.
mean American New York time?
No, like Central time.
No, the mines were Eastern Standard, I think.
No,
Yeah.
the mines were like in Mexico.
They're like directly below us, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing below us.
They're right there.
Yeah, you're thinking about
Florida.
the Aztecs, man.
Yeah, the mines were there.
The Aztecs are the other side of the.
No, the mines are like Central American.
Been to Mexico?
Whatever.
Central America.
So anyway, back to comics. I'm trying to get as much comic talking as this. Is like 1 million books came out this week too.
I don't think we have time. I think we have to talk a little bit more about what's going on in our lives.
Do you want to do? Do you want to do like the quick rundown of awesome books? Yeah,
Hawkeye, awesome.
Hawkeye was awesome. That warrants a conversation. We'll get back to it. Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts was weird.
Thunderbolts was weird.
Weird book.
Good.
I think that cover looks awesome.
Weird cover.
Yeah, I love his art. It's ridiculous. The red thing is so weird. Red leader is weird. That whole book is really. I like it.
I feel like it's two red Marvel books in a row. You know.
What's the other red?
The Hawkeye cover also was like.
Oh, that's right. I think they do that on purpose.
Yeah.
I think they do like say this section of the world is going to be all red today.
Avengers, awesome.
Awesome. Love the backup team. Listen, I've been saying all my life that I wanted more Sunspot and Cannonball, and I got it.
You did. I thought they were gonna be like
kissing.
No, I thought for a second that was supposed to be like Jean Pierre and his wife.
Jean Pierre.
His man wife.
Who's Jean Pierre?
North Star.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's Sunspot and Cannonball. And then like at one point I'm like, wasn't Sunspot at one point gay? He was.
Maybe.
They made
I
think Marvel took it back. I think they made him gay at one point, and then
no,
they
no,
were
no.
like, nah. Like
He's too cool looking.
And like Richter, like he got like the Richter thing kind of like stuck a little bit.
Oh, he's super gay. He's been with Shatterstar for fucking forever.
Very interesting. And you never hear any press about that either.
He is
gay dudes in Marvel.
He is the best. Him and Shatterstar are my two favorite gay guys in Marvel because it's so well written.
Are they in your ranking? Are they higher than Apollo and Midnighter?
Ooh, probably not.
I'm frightened of them.
They were
as like in general, just you know.
But they were, you know what it was? They were so unique and like really like they were such a good couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
And they cared about each other. Where like if something happened to one of them, they Apollo would come flying through.
They were the sweetest dudes. But they were also the most terrifying comic book characters. Like two of the most, I think
Superman and Batman being gay with each other.
Yeah, but like they were written as like the antithesis of Superman and Batman, where they were both like really
murderers.
They were murderers, and they were
black
like,
ops agents.
Yeah. Frightening dudes.
Scary people.
Let's see, Thunderbolts. We got Spidey. We were talked about. 1 million books here. Thor #3. Interesting.
Was awesome.
It was interesting. Not as good as the first two, I think.
Yeah, this was a setup issue. There's a lot of like moving stuff around. X-Force was awesome.
The last issue of Remender's run. I think the little caveat, the nice exclamation point, was him saying in the last paragraph of his thank you, like, if it wasn't for the fans, I would have quit mainstream comics. But because of this book, like, I'm still gonna do it, and I'm so glad about that, man.
Yeah, like that book really is probably one of the best X-Men books come out in years. I think it stands up with like the Grant Morrison stuff. And
yes, absolutely.
Because it was such a unique, awesome storyline. It was heartless. It didn't even feel like a Marvel book half the time. And what a great Deadpool.
Oh, what an amazing Deadpool.
Yeah.
If anybody's out there and they want to pick up like a really excellent like Marvel team book that just is completely self-contained, like Rick Remender's run on Uncanny X-Force, such an awesome comic.
Right from the get-go.
I think it would since we're going to be here the day after New Year's, I guess, do you want to do like a 2012 wrap up?
Sure.
maybe that's on the list.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that book is just so solid, and like every story arc was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the iteration before that, when they were doing like the Chris Yo stuff, when they first brought back X-Force, that was great. And I was so disappointed to see it go. And you were wary of what was going to happen with X-Force when it became Uncanny. And it really, like, how could, like, if you pick up the first arc of that, I think it's, what's his name? Opina does the first, Opina does the first 12 issues. How could you not love that book?
Yeah.
That book is such an easy book to hand off. That could if that gets more popular in the trades, that could be the new Walking Dead you hand off to somebody.
I think so.
This will be like the book to read.
I completely agree, because it's like Remender does a great job of not killing it with exposition, which as much as I love, like all the Marvel stuff that's coming out now, that a lot of people badmouth for some reason. A lot of the Marvel books are heavy in exposition, you know, and you kind of like gloss over it a little bit. Yeah, but
I know,
you know,
people feel like they want their stuff that month, and they want an entire universe in that one issue.
Yeah, and Remender does a good job of like keeping it low on the exposition and keeping it like,
moving.
You know, he keeps that story moving like tremendously, and also like the fact that this guy, you know, the typical comic book cliche character development went out the window with him, and it was full of ups and downs as far as, you know, characters go and character interaction go, because like you didn't see the Phantom X death coming. No. You didn't see the Nightcrawler betrayal coming. No. You didn't see like half the stuff that he threw at you coming at all, you know, and then like towards the end too with like the Kid Apocalypse stuff and
so good.
You know,
the Archangel stuff.
The Archangel stuff was unbelievable.
The Four Horsemen, the Shadow King stuff, like it was they were so good. Four Horsemen, baby.
Bongo.
They were amazing. The book was absolutely phenomenal. It's a wonderful run. It's so weird splitting off into two books now. Yeah, and I'm sure they're both gonna be great.
Yeah.
Cable, haven't seen the other one yet.
Cable and X-Force,
rockin' book.
Pretty good issue. Pretty good. I kind of feel bad for Cable because he's all messed up now.
Yeah, he's got a little baby arm.
Yeah, he's got a baby arm, and like now he's got like a thing in his brain. He's got like a pacemaker in his brain.
Yeah, and Colossus is all messed up.
Yep,
just like the rest of the people that were hanging around with Cyclops.
Pretty good stuff. Speaking of which, All New X-Men, I think it was number 4, came out this week. I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I think this is a storyline that's just taking its time to get rolling. Because you know what it is? It's doing very predictable things. It's there's no real big surprise in the book. Like, you know, Beast is sick. Yeah. You know there's going to be a face-off between, you know, Cyclops and all that. It's fun. But this was the one where you'd start, like, you see kind of where they're going with this. A bit more in the surprising, you know, aspect. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm like, as a fanboy, like, my dream has come true where you're getting excellent Bendis dialogue out of X-Men.
Yeah,
you know, because like when he like towards his end of his Avengers run, it was very give and take. You know, it was very repetitive. But now it's like you're fleshing out these guys as far as like verbal communication goes, and it's awesome. You know, and I really dig it. You know, the panels are filled with tons of excellent dialogue. And this issue I really like too because I like that he's honing in on the fact that young Jean is now in the present day, and everybody who sees her's like, Jean's here, she's here, you know. And then like
Cyclops is messed up.
Cyclops is completely messed up, and she's like, get out of my head. And then who else saw her in this issue? Magneto
also, like, get away from her.
You know,
it's bad news.
She's like, what's the deal with everybody? Like everybody wants to bone that 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, Beast is carrying her. Like, oh, Jeannie.
Yeah, like how old do you think they are? What like age do you place them in?
9 years old.
Yeah. Oh boy,
get really weird.
X babies.
I think it's in the weird Marvel time of like 13 to 15 years old.
Okay,
that can go up. Then that can go up at any time they want. Like whoever's drawing them.
Yeah. Good. That was the agreement.
I like it. No, I think they're about that time, and I think they're gonna be around for a while.
Yeah.
Because this is such a weird book where you think that it's the way it's titled, All New X-Men, it could very well transform into a different team book.
Yeah.
If they write these guys out. But I really hope they do stick around because you could do some really interesting stuff with them.
Yeah, you could do like phenomenal stuff with like these old X-Men characters. And plus, like you have time, like through that development, you have time to kind of figure out the end game with what happens when they go back to their own time, or if they go back to their own time.
Never.
And also like you have the opportunity for the confrontation between their older characters and the newer, and like finding out the history. Because Jean's the only one who is like, she's absorbing everything. And Hank just wants to save himself. Like not in a selfish way, like he wants to save his future self and like himself in the present.
Iceman's freaked out,
and Angel is just like, that guy's in for some serious news.
You're not gonna believe what happens to you.
And also like the whole Wolverine dynamic, and
I want to cut him, but I want to love him.
I place Cyclops at 16.
Yeah,
You know, and I place Beast like a little older. Like I'll give him like
Beast being the oldest one,
like 17, 18, Cyclops 16, Iceman like 14, Angel like maybe 16 also, and Jean at like 15.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then just having them like
13 years old.
Let's say it was like, let's say Cyclops now is like in his early 30s, 33,
maybe.
You know, and
or late 20s.
Yeah, I think he's early 30s.
I think so. I mean, I want to think that he is in his early 30s at this point with the amount of crap he's gone through. But probably Marvel's thinking is he's probably in his
like
late 20s. I don't think superheroes are allowed to reach 30 at this point.
I think so. You know, because like Frank's old. Like Frank's supposed to be like 50.
Yeah, Frank's the only one to give a pass on though.
Yeah,
like he looks good age. Like you don't want like Korea War Tony Stark like rolling around in Marvel.
Like to me, Stark is 37.
Yeah, I always think that Stark is like one of the oldest dudes in the room. You'd want to think that. I mean, that's the way I think that he's supposed to be. But ever since they put him in the Afghanistan war, he's
yeah, I'll give him late 30s because he's like a genius, and you never know. You don't know how old he was when he went to like the Afghanistan. Yeah, Reed Richards to me, like he'll always be like hovering between late 30s and early 40s.
I've always placed him in the 40s,
but I place Sue way younger than him.
Yeah,
she's like she's 28.
Yeah,
you know, perpetually 28.
A weird relationship.
Johnny Storm like 23, 24. Like, but now like new Johnny Storm 28. Ben Grimm.
You always want to think Ben Grimm's like as old as
perpetually 40.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah. He has to be the same age as Reed at all times because they were classmates.
And Doom too.
Doom timeless.
Timeless. That Dr. Doom, he's timeless.
Once he takes that mask off, he's beautiful.
The one scar. Are you a firm believer in that? Like he just has the one tiny baby scar
Not
on his
at
cheek?
all. Never. I've never subscribed to that. I think it's a cool idea. It's a nice little nod and like who did that?
I think it was in Secret Wars.
Yeah, but someone was the one that put like I came up with the Doom thing and
I don't remember that.
And it's like he's got the scar. He doesn't have the messed up face. He's got the messed up face.
Yeah,
I like the explanation that he. I don't know why I've always liked this. I'm a big fan of Doom, but I like the idea that he had a little baby scar and then he got the thing that
the monks messed him up.
That he couldn't wait to put the mask on and burn his face off. Like it's like when you take the thing out of the oven, you didn't wait for it.
Yeah.
And he essentially burns his face off.
I always like that was in an old issue of Marvel Saga too. Like when they did the whole recap of that, and like you see he was just like he was so anxious to put the mask on.
Put the mask on.
And they're like, you can't do it.
It just came out of the molten.
Oh. But you're a scientist. You would think it's hot, man.
It's hot.
Glowing.
You just saw it go into like a gigantic fire.
Do
with
not
a demon's mask on it.
Don't put glowing metal on your face. But
build me a suit of armor.
I always kind of like subscribe, and they'll never really address it because it's been like so, like botched, not botched, but like it's been so like up and down. I think it doesn't really matter anymore. But I like sometimes I'm like, you know what? Like if Hickman wrote him with like the tiniest like mosquito bite on his cheek, that would be kind of interesting. Or if they just made him look like Deadpool.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that's what I've always thought of him, like really disgusting.
He's got a third eye, right?
Just for all the crap that's happened to him at this point. Like, I think every single person that's fought Doom to take a standstill battle, they've ripped his mask off and burned his face.
Yeah. it's the thing we do.
It's like Iron Man.
All right, we got 10 minutes. Captain America #2. What'd you think?
Crazy book, man.
Really crazy book. Okay.
So he's got a son now, for the most part.
Yeah.
Come on, Papa. So this book is crazy. It's just basically Captain America in Arnim Zola's like Dimension Z, where he's made all these crazy alien monsters, and he's out in the wasteland with like Arnim Zola's weird kid. There's like a little savage boy,
Zola Dimension,
and they're like cooking rice in his shield like, over fire, and like he's basically like his adopted like Captain America is like this little kid's like adopted father. He's just trying to keep him alive. It's basically The Road with Arnim Zola and Captain America.
Yeah, and like he doesn't know how long he's been gone. He's been gone for weeks, and like it's different. I think it's a dream.
The bullet, he's got one bullet also.
Yeah,
to kill himself or the kid.
Yeah, and a beautiful case too.
This is The Road. This is completely The Road. A beautiful case, absolutely beautiful case on that bullet.
Like where did he put that case? He's like a separate pouch on his belt for like that one bullet case.
And he does like the like put it away.
What does it say on it?
I was trying to think about that.
Say dedication.
Something like that. It's D word.
Dominate.
Dominate.
Yeah, it's not what I expect out of a Captain America book, but I kind of like it.
You've been reading like World War II type, very serious Captain America stuff. Yeah, you have to remember that Captain America does a lot of crazy stuff. Like he's done, like I've read the Mark Arnold stuff inside and out. He has done a large variety of weird stuff.
He's everywhere. But like, we're used to for like the past like 10 or so years, we've been getting espionage.
Oh yeah,
like American espionage, Captain America, and like
mutates,
like high action. Now you're getting like I'm in a different dimension. I have long hair and a beard, and
which looks awesome.
Yeah. And like these mongoloid, these monsters have stolen my shield, and like the end of the issue is him almost getting beheaded,
or the kid,
or you don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna team up with those guys and
take down Zola,
do what he's got to do,
like raise an army. And also, this is all intercut with his really depressing childhood, which is just awful.
Oh yeah, he's getting beat up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, bricks on his head,
kid, and like that.
And the guy said, "I want to screw your mom." Yeah, I'm gonna be your dad now. It really that went on for a little bit too long.
It did.
He's like, I'm gonna screw your mom, and because your dad's dead, and I'm gonna screw your mom, and I'm gonna be your dad, but you don't tell anyone that I'm your dad. I'm screwing your mom,
and then like
you're a whore.
The add-on was like, maybe I'll also get drunk and cheat on your mom after I'm done screwing with her, like your dad did.
He's a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah, and then
take his papers.
The other kid was like, we don't talk about the moms. Go to the streets, and he's like, forget it. Oh, this guy sucks. That the reveal is gonna be that kid's actually Arnim Zola.
What an asshole.
Oh, totally. Saga number 7.
Saga was
or 8.
Awesome.
Just Saga came out. It's such a beautifully crafted book.
I know. I really like the disgusting giant with the huge nutsack.
Oh yeah.
Gross. That's the grossest piece of male genitalia I've ever seen in a comic book.
I want that book to go on forever. I love that book.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's up there, man. Like Brian K. Vaughan, he's come such a long way from doing like Batman No Man's Land garbage.
Oh wow.
I remember that. You remember No Man's Land? The earthquake destroyed Gotham City.
Yeah.
Still canon.
Is it?
It is. It's still.
Right,
I think it's still Batman canon. I don't know if Bruce Wayne Fugitive is still canon though.
That stuff was great.
Yeah, I love that. I love that stuff. That whole Contagion, No Man's Land, and Bruce Wayne Fugitive went on forever, man. And then all of a sudden, like that new whatever they wrote new, it was like Gotham City's brand new again, and I have a new Batmobile. Let's go.
Boy, for myself.
What else came out that was awesome this week? Hulk number 2. Did you read it?
I didn't read it yet.
It's really good.
I'm looking forward to it. You know what I was looking? I didn't read that. I didn't read FF yet.
FF was great.
I didn't read. I read Thor before I came here.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to read Whistling Skull, which is awful.
I mean, like I think it's because both of us were really looking forward to it. I didn't expect and we've been like, if we follow Tony Harris on Instagram, and this guy's been posting art for that book for like God knows how long.
Yeah,
and also B. Claymore also has been saying like something big's happening and this and that, and the fact that it's set in the Liberty Files universe, both of us like went nuts for it. I think it's just like, I want to say it's a slow burn because the last couple of pages actually grabbed me. There's a good grab in it. I want to know what the relationship between Whistling Skull and that other dude is.
Like the messed up little retard kid.
Yeah, like his sidekick.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't. I was a little bit disappointed in it because I blew it up in my head to be something completely different. I thought it was going to be like this pulpy, like, oh, our man's here and that guy's here. Boom, boom, boom.
No, you know what it was? It really was exactly what we thought it was going to be. Where it's a storyline that was already made, and that they kind of just drew in the background like a weird wildcat and a weird like our man and stuff like that in the back, because that's what it was. They had this like framing story that happens like when they're in the 40s. And it's like these little background moments where it looks like, Wildcat, messed up in the snow, and like Iron Man like messed up in the snow, and he's like, I've got these bad guys. It's all background shots.
Yeah.
It's not a good comic.
Yeah, it's well, we'll see. I'm gonna get issue number 2.
I'm not.
No?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I know so.
We'll see.
I'm not getting it.
I'm a sucker for the Tony Harris stuff. I like the art.
So do I, but he burned me this year.
All right. Are you counting the fan?
Yeah,
the Twitter
absolutely.
thing. All right,
yeah.
You burned by that,
and I think I got burned by that, and I also think I talked about this. I was very burnt. I was burnt. I also am not I really don't like the idea of you repackaging a story under DC Liberty Files.
Yeah,
it's just false advertisement, man.
What other DC did you read this week?
Lantern.
Lantern was good.
Lantern's good. I just wanted to mention also, I read New Guardians. Mm-hmm. There's this guy on that book. I think Aaron Cutter. awesome. This guy is going to be like all over the place. He is an awesome artist. But Lantern was incredible. Regular Green Lantern I thought was really cool.
Continuing the story of Baz.
It's such a weird, isn't it a weird story?
It is a weird story.
The Third Army has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like I was telling you today, I'm like, you know what? Like I really like the story in it, but the throwing in the Third Army, like it works great as like that plot device. I don't like the way they look at all. They look shitty.
He drew him really well.
Yeah, he did.
Robert Palmer drew them very well. Doug Mock drew him really well. Like when they're coming out of the basement.
Yeah,
the Baz storyline I didn't care less. Like I like Baz a lot. I think he's a cool character. But this whole truck thing, like this issue, like reminded me like the truck thing is still going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the truck thing, and he's gonna.
Well, they kind of threw that under the rug in this issue where like the one Fed is like, I guess you, or he's like, come and set these bombs with me, and he's Fed? Like, I don't know, and he's like, I guess you are innocent. Boop, 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 boop. These bombs are set. Let's go. And then the Third Army shows up.
And then they had Chip show up, which is weird.
Oh, that was awesome.
Little squirrel.
Hal Jordan and Sinestro are trapped in that guy's ring, right?
Yeah. And they're walking around for like 8 issues now.
Where do we go?
You're dead. You're dead. And I think they're talking to Abin Sur. I think we always think that the cloak guy is Abin Sur.
Yeah. And they have the reveal of like who the first Lantern was.
So weird.
That you showed me today, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But they're probably going to do a different version.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think. Well, the big reveal is that they showed the guy too in the new solicits. They actually showed what he looks like.
Okay.
He looks like the Visible Man.
All right.
You know, with like no skin, and he has like different colored like spectrums that turn into veins. Weird looking character. Anyway, he can't remember his name.
I want to. I
want to say Vermouth, but it's not Vermouth.
I'm thinking of that
Voltoon.
That comic you sent me.
Voltoon.
Usamon.
Jimothy.
Jimothy.
Usamon and Jimothy.
It was
whatever, dude.
Crime Syndicate. Keep talking. Let me look.
He was so anyway. They revealed the very first Lantern that before there's a Green Lantern, before there's a Red Lantern, or any of that stuff. The Guardians empowered just one dude, or he empowered them. Where it turns out he's got the same name as the antimatter crime syndicate, the bad guy version of the Justice League. Their Green Lantern powering was powered by a Tibetan monk.
Volthoom, I think
Volthoom. Yeah, Volthoom.
Yeah.
A Tibetan monk powered his ring because he was inside the ring. It's a crazy, weird thing that they're now writing into some version of canon.
Yeah, it's Volthoom. Volthoom's powering. I was saying to you before, which I automatically made the story a million times better in my head, if the reveal was that the first Green Lantern trapped there was 1940s Alan Scott.
It would never happen.
I would have loved that.
I know, so would I. But it never would happen.
And then that's how you lead into DC becoming better again.
Look, they exist.
So I think we're, Andrew, we got to wrap it up. I think your chat room is filling up with guys who want to know what the tech is. This week. Who's going to badmouth Andrew this week? Up next.
I don't like this.
It's not on the show? Does anybody badmouth you on this show? No. What's the show about? Can I stay on and be like, what are you guys talking about?
I don't like this.
All right. So thank you for tuning in. This has been another beautiful episode of Behind the Counter. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'm Rich Stambolian.
I'm Jimothy.
Good night. Good night.